We flew from Lima to Arequipa, which was the mission home. I hadn't really heard anything about our mission president, but the biggest thing that sticks out to me, not only from my first arrival there, but from all of my time in the mission, was the president. He was very dynamic. He was very fiery. The first time I remember seeing him, he walked into the mission home, and it took me a split second to recognize that this is the mission president, because he was quite young for a mission president. I think he was late 30s or early 40s, and he was kind of short. I mean, you know, for a Peruvian, I guess he was about average height, but for what I was used to, he was rather short. And so he walked quickly into the room, but I didn't quite put two and two together that was the mission president for a couple of seconds. But almost immediately he started straight in like, "Oh, I'm President Fernandez, and what have you all heard about me?" And I guess a few other missionaries had said, like, "Oh, we've heard that you're strict and you kind of lay down the law, I guess." And the longer I was in my mission, the more I figured out that that was true, because he was very strict. He was very fiery. It turned out later that I learned that there had been massive problems with obedience before he came there, and the mission was underperforming significantly. And so when he came in, he threw everything out the window, and it was kind of his way or the highway for a while. I came in about 6 months after he got there, so things were starting to turn around. But even so, he was very fiery, he was very dynamic. And the training that we received at the start of the mission, you know, all the specifics escape me, but I do remember that it was dynamic, it was fast-paced. At that point, there was still a lot that I didn't quite register because of the language. All the training was in English. They didn't give us anything in Spanish. Sorry, excuse me. All of the training was in Spanish. They didn't give us anything in English. There was a lot of training by the mission secretaries, by the assistants. I don't remember if his wife spoke on health-related issues, but then he definitely trained us. And that was pretty much it. They sent us out to our first areas. I was sent to a little place called Moquegua, which was about 8 hours by bus, about 8 hours, maybe 7 or 8 hours by bus from the mission home. So we spent the night there, and then we went to the bus terminal. I want to say we went to the bus, we picked up our tickets that evening, and then we went up to the bus terminal. I don't really remember if we got on the bus that evening or if we got on the bus that morning, but I do remember that by the time we got there, it was daytime. Or at least I think so. It's been a while. Wow. Anyhow, so we got there, and I was picked up, getting off the bus, by my trainer. His name was Elder Moyo. He was from Bolivia. He was very short. He had glasses. He was very quiet. And he was my trainer for that first half transfer, and then another transfer after that. So for about 9 weeks he had me. He did an alright job. I mean, I guess I kind of expected more out of a trainer, a little bit more out, because I had heard that from my mission prep class and so on. I had heard that a trainer can actually be one of the most important leadership positions that you have. And so I guess I was expecting just like a really gung-ho, go-getter, rah-rah, you know, like pump you up, psych you up type of trainer. He wasn't that way very much at all. He was contemplative. He was really contemplative. Quiet. A little bit sarcastic. So yeah, that first 9 weeks, so transfer and a half or so, was difficult. I spent Christmas in the field. I would like to say that it was positive. It wasn't really. And I hate to say that, especially in front of the cameras, because it was very difficult for me to get used to, especially with El Moyo, because, I don't know, I guess I was expecting something different. But I remember there was a lot of difficulty getting used to the language, being able to express myself. Kind of a funny story. When I was there and we were waiting for lunch at one point, he had... I was trying to explain that the seasons are reversed from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, and even though it was summer in Peru, it was winter in the United States. And I was trying to say something like, in the United States right now, it's winter. And the word for winter is invierno, which, but the word that I chose was infierno, which means hell. It's so basically what it ended up saying was, in the United States right now, it's heck. He gave me a very strange look, and I can laugh about it now because yeah, that would have been a lot harder actually. But it was stuff like that at the time probably didn't seem too funny. In hindsight, I can laugh at it now.